Hey guys, welcome to photo sharing discussion number 165. I guess we are now live on YouTube. Hopefully I got this thing set up right after a couple week break. Looks like hopefully I'll have a few people pop in here and join in as usual. Hey, there's Wes popping in. Hopefully, hey Wes.
Hello. Oh,
How's it going?
pretty good.
Good. So did you join through the YouTube or just through the link I posted on Google Plus?
Through Google Plus.
Okay. All right. I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it. It's just easier probably just to go to Google Plus than YouTube for it. But okay, cool. Well, good. First off, I want to thank you very much. Your hospitality was fantastic last week, and Pam and I really enjoyed it. It was a great time. Very good.
It's fun to have you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Did you guys get any damage from the hurricane? It sounds like maybe you didn't have any gas in the gas stations. But,
yeah, there was a big run on gas the day before the hurricane hit, so
okay.
it just took a little time for stations to get some new shipments in.
Okay, and I heard Pam said she heard that Gainesville lost power for a while. Did you guys have the power go out for a while?
Some people lost power. We didn't lose power at all.
Okay, all right. And did you get much rain from it or anything?
Yeah, not a whole lot of rain either.
It
was we just got lucky.
It was pretty much a non-event, except you had probably a bunch of people from South Florida that came up to Gainesville to try to get out of the way of it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was, and then of course they didn't play the game either. Have they decided what they're going to do? Was it Florida was playing LSU or something supposedly yesterday?
Yeah, they were supposed to play, and then they postponed it, and SEC is saying they have to play it at some point, so I guess they're just going to reschedule, try to find a week to reschedule it for.
Yeah.
Maybe near the end of the season or something.
Yeah, cram something in. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously huge money, and they're both conference. They're both teams that would be looking at winning the conference potentially, I guess. So it's not like one of the early season games when Florida's playing Northeast West Ohio State Community College or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Well, glad you guys are fine. Yeah, it was a kind of a big event on the east coast of Florida, and it sounds like actually from a flooding and stuff standpoint, it did more damage to North Carolina than anything. It sounds like. North Carolina.
Yeah. East coast of Florida is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
A1A is totally washed out in a lot of places. And
okay. That's the one that runs down from like Jacksonville all the way down the coast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We were when we were out there, was it 4 years ago? We met some friends and we stayed and rented a house down there, just south of Ponte Vedra, I guess. Rented a house right along the ocean there, and we're like, well, I wonder what that's like, because we went to the pier, the Jacksonville Pier, which I guess part of it got washed away in the storm surge, and then it sounds like the road was damaged in spots, at least all the way up and down. Yeah, well, they hadn't had a hurricane like that really yet in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time, supposedly, like 70s maybe.
Yeah, and with the way things kind of curve up, the coastline, you got Jacksonville, and then you got Savannah and stuff. Everything just kind of gets sucked in there, and then the storm surge just kind of goes right up the rivers and into the bay. So yeah, it sounds like the recovery process starts here. But it was a little busy, but yeah, glad you're okay, and thanks again for the hospitality. It was great fun. Really enjoyed it. Good time.
Yeah, we had a hotel booked for St. Augustine next weekend, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I don't think.
Probably not. Yeah, I want to move that to the spring, I guess. Yeah. We've got my brother's in-laws stay down. They kind of winter down in Hilton Head. They rent a condo every year, and I think they're still going to be able to do that, but it might be, it's probably not going to be. There's probably still be cleaning up, I'm sure. After that, but yeah, I mean I guess there were still a few people that did lose their lives. Sounds like people that tried to go through the flooding, or people that didn't evacuate like they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's unfortunate. People. I don't know why if they're gonna if they're saying evacuate, oh no, I've got through this and that. No. It's kind of feel bad, but on the other hand, it's like, no, not really, because you had the opportunity, and they told you if you didn't evacuate, you're kind of stuck. So it's up to your own thing. So yeah, okay, well, good. Well, glad we kind of everybody weathered the hurricane for the most part, I guess, and recovery efforts will be in place, and hopefully we don't get another one this year. This year's been pretty quiet.
Hope so.
Yeah,
getting near the end of the season, so.
Yeah, I think we're down pretty much. Is it November 1st is the unofficial end of hurricane season? Like June 1st.
I guess
November.
so.
Yeah. There's about a 6 month window where they consider it to be hurricane season. So yeah, we should be at the end within the next few weeks. Everything's starting to tone back down for the next few months at least. So, well, good. So yeah, you posted quite a few pictures. I managed to get through some of the stuff from last weekend. Got a roll of film developed. I've still got the 35 millimeter. Yeah, I still got the 35 millimeter roll. That I still have a few frames left. I was hoping to do that this weekend, but I didn't get out there, so I might just run them through and develop the film here this week, because I think I got a couple good shots on that one, but I can't tell until you develop the film. That's all the fun. So, oh, hey, look, is it Patrick? Are you there, Pat? Maybe.
Hello, Pat.
Thought I was, but
there you
are. I don't see video. I got audio though.
Yeah.
But, good. Glad you can join.
Yeah, me too. Maybe. I mean, trying to figure out video here, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. You've been pretty busy the last few months, it looks like.
Well, in a slow month.
Okay.
About to get crazy though, but
yeah.
I hope anyway.
Well, you're coming into this is the next couple months is probably when you do a lot of stuff getting ready for all the auction season coming up here in a few months, right?
Yeah, October is generally pretty busy, so I'm hoping that is the case this year. But
yeah. You never know. It's probably still a little bit of hit and miss as far as just depends what's coming on. I mean, what's going to be sold, I guess, and how much. How much.
Yeah, the nice thing is I'm actually I do quite a bit of work for 3 auction companies now, so between the 3, I should get pretty busy. I hope.
Yeah.
If I don't, I'm in trouble. So.
Yeah. What's the take on the overall classic car collector car market? Is it still going up, or is it kind of leveled off? Or
yeah, it's kind of mellowed a little bit. Yeah, I mean it was getting really crazy where like everything was breaking records and all that kind of stuff, and certain things are still doing really well. Other things are kind of leveling off, and I think people are, I don't know, it was getting to the point where everyone's just buying stuff as investments basically, so people that didn't have any interest in them really. And the problem is that certain high dollar cars. A good example is like the Ferrari California Spider. That's like the Ferris Bueller's Day Off car. That car is like a super desirable, crazy car, but everyone that has one, or everyone that wants one, seems to have one. So people put it up for auction, and then nothing happens. And there's a handful of cars like that, and so it's kind of almost like big crazy ones that have never been or never see the light of day. That kind of stuff still does really, really well. Like that Jaguar I posted that sold for like 22 million. Stuff like that will always do well, but kind of the more middle, the affordable stuff like $2-3 million.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's all.
That's what I've got in my driveway. I'm running out of space for all those affordable $2-3 million cars. But yeah, I guess compared to a $22 million car or something. Yeah.
No, I'm obviously joking when I say affordable,
but yeah, I mean in that level, I mean, comparatively, it's it's a quote unquote affordable.
Yeah, I guess when I know people that have hundreds of $1 million of cars. Millions.
I mean, it's all relative. Yeah, I mean, it's all relative to what you're used to. It's like us saying, well, yeah, that's an affordable car at a couple $1,000, So yeah, well, that's interesting, because I had heard some things here and there that people seem to think that maybe it's taking a breather as far as collector car,
which isn't good for me. I prefer everything was breaking records and going crazy, but at the same time, I do think it's nice. I don't like the whole investor thing, people buying cars and parking them. Not a fan.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, kind of all the whole people just buying it. Yeah, to keep them in a garage and never drive them.
Yeah.
Kind of kind of goes against them being around in the first place, I guess. So, yeah. Okay. Well, good. Yeah. So hopefully things pick up for you. Get pretty busy, but you're working with more. Last year, I think you were only working with 2 of the auction.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically 2 with like a little bit for one guy, but then, or no, I say one guy, but it's Bonham's. It's a pretty big company, but yeah, I'm doing a lot more for them now. So.
Okay.
And then still the RM Sotheby's is kind of the one where I shoot. They're the only one I really travel for, do that kind of stuff. It's the RM Sotheby's, but.
Okay, that's the one that you did. That's when you're out in California earlier this year, right?
Yeah, I usually go to kind of West Coast for them quite a bit: Seattle, Oregon, California.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, you've been posting some great images, so you've been obviously photographing some great cars.
Some of it's old stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I noticed a few things. Yeah, but I mean, there's and how? Gotta ask you, I don't think you've been on since you took your trip to Italy.
Italy? Yeah, I don't know if I have.
It was in May, wasn't it?
It was good. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I always heard that event was nuts, and it really is. It's a little different because obviously I was just trying to take photos, so like we wouldn't do the whole route with the cars. Try to get to the next city and get photos of them coming in, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was nuts. Like, so we go to Rome, right? One of the like most beautiful, well-known cities in the world, and we're there for like 6 hours total, and counting the time we're in the hotel room sleeping. So it's like it was like 3 hours of sleep that night. I think we got in at like 1 a.m. and then we were basically, when we actually got to the hotel, it was like 1 a.m. and then I think we got up and we're leaving at 4, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing beautiful things at 120 miles per hour, basically.
Yeah. Just kind of like in a whirlwind. Yeah.
And it's amazing that culture there is like so into it. It's, it's people compare it to like the Super Bowl for them. And I think it's even more extreme to that, where you'll be in the middle of nowhere in Italy and there's people lined up on the side of the road taking pictures, and, old grannies and stuff, just like waving flags, just watching them go by. And there'd be little narrow 2-lane roads, one going each way. Mm-hmm. And actually I did like mostly the modern cars. Because the guy that I was with was running like a modern Ferrari, I posted a picture of that car, but especially for the vintage ones, people just go crazy. And so they have a little narrow 2-lane road, and they'll make a 3rd lane on the dotted line right down the middle. And each of the cars kind of driving the shoulder, and they're going like 100 miles per hour between cars. Everyone just zooming both ways.
Wow.
And everyone's cool with it. They know what to do. They expect it doesn't bother them. They're happy to get over, driving the gravel a little bit and that kind of stuff. It's like such a part of their culture there.
Yeah. It's completely different. So you were over there photographing for just one person in particular, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The local guy with a magazine.
Okay.
It's kind of trying to do more and more work for him because it's a little bit different and kind of more fun in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah, that article and stuff hasn't even come out yet. I think that's going to be in the December issue of the magazine.
Okay, so that'll be out next month then, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably post.
If you can, make sure you post it. Yeah, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, and I'll kind of share more photos at that point. I've kind of been holding off to see what he does because I don't want to like post a bunch of content and then I want the content to be kind of fresh when he starts sharing it. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's our kind of posting a little bit.
That's the whole point of going over there to do that. So yeah, well that's cool. But yeah, you were over there in a beautiful part of the country, a great event, but you barely had time to breathe. Probably.
It was. I mean, I can't imagine doing the actual driving. I was just in the passenger seat, and to actually drive those 1,000 miles in that amount of time, like sleeping 3 hours a night and driving at that speed. And they have like little course maps, and they're like they always have a navigator in the passenger seat that has, and you have to follow the signs and make sure you don't get off the route and everything, and it's all timed.
Wow! So they do the 1,000 miles in how many days?
God, I should probably know this. I think it was 5 or 4
days. Okay, so they're driving a couple hundred miles a day. So the actual driving is maybe a few hours a day. And then
when they have stops too, they have checkpoints I always have to come in through, and they'll have like a little lunch and that kind of stuff at the different things. And every city kind of hosted every time there was a giant event. Supposedly there was like 150,000 people in one of the cities when we came in. They were like in this big square waiting for everyone.
Okay. So it's almost like a high-speed parade.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
But I mean, those guys get crazy. I saw multi-million-dollar cars that were all smashed up, and you know, it's not uncommon for accidents and bad accidents to happen. I don't think anyone's died in a long time, but
yeah,
and it's not really a race anymore. It used to be like an actual full-on, you know, they'd have professional drivers only doing that kind of stuff. But basically, that's some terrible crashes where it was a Mercedes flew into a crowd and killed like 50 people or something. Ooh. So then they stopped it for many years and brought it back. Tried to mellow it, but I mean, like I said, it still gets crazy, but nothing like that. You know, no one's gonna die.
yeah, it's kind of like the the vintage car races, that type of stuff. I mean, they're racing, but yeah, they're going like 9/10 maybe instead of 11/10. Yeah.
But people do it in like 1930s Bugattis or 1920s Bugattis that are like, you know, no roof, no any kind of comforts at all. It was pouring rain the first 2 days, and these guys are, you know, doing all that, and can't imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're the car culture there. I mean, everybody talks about the American car culture, but I mean, it definitely is, but it's completely different there. It sounds like. I mean,
yeah, it's more like ingrained, especially Ferrari in Italy. It's like people just go nuts anytime there was that kind of stuff, and it's kind of funny because people are going crazy over the Arizona license plate on his car because he had shipped it over there. And so there's so many people taking pictures of the Arizona plate because it was like so exotic to them.
Now, did you see? There's got to be. I mean, cars from all over the world are in that, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People ship their cars from wherever.
Actually, the classic cars, I want to say there was like 300 or 400 people doing it, 300 or 400 cars.
Wow.
I think we had like 70, and then had a Mercedes thing with modern Mercedes, so it's a handful of cars too. But I want to say it's probably about 500 cars total.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. So. Well, they talk about, you know, in bike racing, you know, the Tour de France is kind of, you know, it's a race, but it ends up, you know, day to day in different place, and the whole town gets together, and everybody's, you know, that's how they get all their infrastructure updated. Is if the tour's coming to town, then they have to repave the roads and redo everything. It's probably the same way.
Definitely saw some of that. I mean, towns were all decorated up, and it was a big deal.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Are you any plans on doing that next year, or do you know, or?
Probably not, I'm guessing, but I would love to. What I really want to do is go back and spend the whole time with the classic cars, you know, versus the modern ones, because to me that's a little more fun and, you know, more of what it's about. Ideally, I'd love to do it as a passenger, but I don't know who I'd do that with, you know.
I don't know how it'd be cool, but I don't know if I'd want to be racing down the road 100 miles an hour in a 1920s Bugatti. I don't know.
No, I probably wouldn't want that. Maybe like a 1950s Ferrari would be good.
An airbag right there, please? Just in case.
Something at least with a roof would be nice.
Yeah. Well, that had to be a great experience, and as a photographer too. I mean, it's
yeah, no, there's no shortage of cool you know, photo opportunities and stuff. And there's a lot. We had rented a BMW wagon for the little media car with a sunroof, so I was like standing on the passenger seat with my, you know, waist up out of it at like 100 miles per hour, shooting backwards, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of fun too.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, cool. That's what you've been doing. I mean, that's what you've been wanting to do for years. I mean, you're getting more.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's
more and more to do it. I mean, that's the whole point.
I certainly feel very, very lucky to have that opportunity to, you know, to experience that. That's like a bucket list thing for so many car people, and to get to do it not only for free, but to get paid to do it. It's a whole other thing, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, and to document it. Doing what you want to do, to be there doing what you want to do. Yeah. Now you've done it that way. Now you just want to go back and kind of enjoy the whole experience, maybe.
Yeah. I'd love to actually, like, you know, write an article about it or something and do that more like that. But and just take, you know, whatever I want to. Because the whole thing with that, the only thing that was kind of a bummer was, you know, I was so focused on that one guy's car, so I'd get to that town and just wait and have to wait for him, so that I made sure I got photos of him. Because, you know, the last thing I want to do is, you know, at the end of the week, be like, oh yeah, I got like 10 photos of you.
Yeah, but look at all these other great cars I got. Yeah. Oh, cool. That's very, very cool, and you had some great images you shared from that. So that's,
I'll definitely share more later.
If you can, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, that'd be great. So so you did that, and then looks like you were shooting here and there over the summer. Now you're coming into hopefully busy season, so you're gonna be kind of crazy the next few months. That's good.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, we do too. That's for sure. So I'll ask you: did you get out for the Worldwide Photo Walk last week, Pat?
Did not. I do virtually no photo other than photo stuff other than car stuff. Unfortunately, I wish I did, but like I haven't touched my film camera and I didn't know how long. I'd love to do more stuff with that. And
yeah. Well, you know, are you doing car photography pretty much full time now? I know you were kind of in that spot.
That's actually all I've been doing for like probably the last year.
Okay, that's what I seem to remember, that you were right at that.
Sole income, so that's why I say better. If it's not busy, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So one of the problems is I don't, it's not predictable. Since I just get paid by the shoot, so.
Yeah, I guess it was last fall you were kind of saying you were hoping to kind of transition over and do that full time. So yeah, now you just want to be taking pictures, using your camera to get paid every time you push the button. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do more of that other stuff, but it's hard, especially when I have, mountains of photos to get through from past shoots, and I should be updating my website more and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all the other stuff that goes into running the business outside of.
And I do feel like I've gotten worse as far as non-automotive photography, or at least I don't know. I feel like anytime I have tried it, I don't feel like I don't feel inspired lately, which is bad. That's why I need to do more of it, because I do think all that, any kind of photography helps other kinds.
Yeah. But the reality is you don't get paid to do the other photography. So you got to try to find that balance, and that's probably going to be a challenge moving forward, is to be able to balance out doing the other stuff to kind of keep everything fresh to a certain extent.
Yeah. And I still enjoy it, most of the time. Some of that, like if it's kind of a boring car in a boring location, it kind of feels like work. But for the most part, especially, obviously if I'm traveling, I enjoy that. So can't complain. I'm definitely not one of these people that says like, oh, a lot of people say don't make your hobby your work, but in my case, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, well, that's all that matters is if you're enjoying what you're doing. I mean, there's always, no matter what you do, there's always days that suck. I mean, it's just, but if you have the majority of the days that are better than that and you enjoy what you do, that's the goal. So that's very good. But yeah. Wes and I did the photo walk last week. I went down.
Yeah, you were actually there, weren't you?
Yeah, Pam and I went down and
nice.
Hung out down there for a few days. Yeah, Wes was a great host. Thanks to him, I got to try out a couple lenses. So I think my bank account might be suffering here in a few months, because that 12-40 is a sweet lens.
Yeah,
that is a very nice lens. And then I got to use the. I guess it was it's the. Just, I guess, the standard Lumix, was it 175 to 200? Is that what it was?
45 to 200.
45 to 200, yeah. I used that for some stuff. So, yeah, it was cool. We had a good time. Gainesville's a nice town. The University of Florida is, quite a organization. Big campus, lots of stuff. And they've got a lot of good amenities, with the museums and everything. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Good time. So, yeah, we got out. We did the photo walk on Saturday, which Wes led. We wandered around campus. It was a good couple miles of walking around, and we went back out in the afternoon to Sweetwater Wetlands, which is just a wetlands area, and I guess that was the part B of the photo walk. And we had, how many people were on the morning photo walk, Wes? Was it 25 or 30 maybe?
I looked at the photo and I counted 27. So
okay, all right.
I guess it was 27.
And then the evening was maybe 10 or 15 showed up, I think. Oh, bits and pieces. Some people came and left, and
some people came later.
Yeah, some people came later. Some people came earlier and stayed. Some people came earlier and left before. But we had a pretty good turnout and lots of good images. I've got to revisit the photo walk post page, but there's some good stuff.
Yeah, I've never done one of those. I'd like to. I'm always a big fan of like when Joe and I did that photo shoot of those Acuras. I always like seeing different people's take on the same thing. It's always interesting.
Yeah,
and kind of sometimes it's like you look back and like kind of think, oh wow, I missed that. Like just completely missed that thought, that angle, that idea, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and that's that, and just meeting other people and seeing other people do. But yeah, I mean, that's literally, you go through and you look at that. And I spent, I don't know, I had the Olympus, and then I had the roller cord, and I also had the Nichromat. So I had 3 cameras I was kind of back and forth playing around with. And I spent a lot of time talking to people too, just trying to do it. But I got some images, but it was interesting looking at what other people, shots they got of the place I was at, and I was like, I didn't see that,
Yeah.
A different perspective on I was like right there, and I didn't see it. So,
well, I think it's so easy, like for me, so easy to get in a rut when I kind of get going through the motions almost, if I know like, okay, I'm shooting this car for an auction catalog, I need to get these photos, this angle, this, where it's like it start to kind of lose a little creativity. And that's why I think, like I said, doing something like a photo walk would help that, that I think, because even simple stuff, this sounds kind of dumb, but like, I think back to some photos taken where just kind of like shooting down on a car on details, that kind of stuff, can kind of give you a different look that you don't normally see just looking at a car. And I just don't do that stuff for the most part. I just kind of, if it's a really high dollar car where they fly me out somewhere, then I'll, take like just an extreme number of photos, and I end up with that kind of stuff. But other times, like if it's just kind of the standard stuff, like I've several times shot like 7 cars in one day. And so it's hard to, be inspired and get creative when you kind of just got to hammer through them.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said,
got a checklist, and it's like, okay, car A done.
Absolutely. In fact, I mean, sometimes at this point I have it in my head, but I used to actually bring a checklist with myself, with me and say, okay, I got all these for this car and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, you want to make sure you're getting the stuff you need in order to justify why you're there. Yeah. And then you probably gotten to the point now where it's kind of automatic, like you were saying. It is kind of automatic to do it. Yeah, and that's what's fun about photo walks, because it's just random stuff. I mean, to a certain extent, there's multiple people there, so you can see other people, how they're looking at things, which is always different. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but people can look at the same thing and see completely different visions of it or whatever. So that's always fun, and it's just fun to talk to people. And
yeah, definitely. I just went to Cars and Coffee this weekend for the first time in many months, and I just ended up talking to people the whole time. I mean, I took some photos, but it was interesting too with that, kind of like I said, the same thing with like the different perspectives, is that Jaguar XKSS was there. And so I was watching on social media, and I didn't see a single photo posted of that car. And I saw countless photos of a LaFerrari that was on literally the opposite side of the street of it. And it's just funny that, seeing people that I guess they just probably don't know what that car is, and don't understand that one car is worth as much as 90% of that lot put together. The 200 other cars there almost, match the value of that one car.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And I imagine that's, like I said, kind of the same thing with the photo walks, that sort of the same thing with just what people notice and what other people don't. You just look right past. And I guess I don't know how, how tight the group is the whole time, if you're like really close to each other, to kind of straggle or what happens. But I imagine it depends on how many people you have and whatnot.
Yeah, we got separated
kind
a
of
little bit.
and over time it spread out more.
Yeah. But no, it's interesting because I mean, I'm sure you look at what other people took of the same spot, and you're like, well, where did they see that? And on the other end, they're looking at that and saying, well, I didn't see that. And so it's on both sides of the table, the perspective is completely different. So that's always fun. But yeah, it was a good time. The weather was good. We got a nice sunset on Saturday night. There's some nice little bit of clouds in the sky, so good sunset. And it was the sky was a little bland in the morning, but it was a nice walk. Yeah.
How long do you do it? Like,
the morning we went for about 3 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, started at about 8, I guess, and finished
pretty good amount of time.
11. Yeah, and then the afternoon was like
about 2
5
hours.
o'clock to 7. Yeah, a couple of hours. We got out there a couple hours before sunset and wandered around. It was a neat wetlands. You went all over the place, Wes. It was like, where's Wes going? I'm like, I don't know. He's way up.
Well, there was no animals right there at the center part, so I was like, I'm wandering around, see if I can find something.
Yeah, we finally walked across the bridge a little bit and saw some birds and stuff. But you got a couple good shots here. So yeah,
I think that's honestly what I realized, and I've read the same thing, like a little bit of articles, is that so much of like getting a good photo is just, you know, being willing to do what other people aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it's waiting out, you know, for hours on end, or climbing up on something that other people don't want to do, or, you know, getting yourself dirty or whatever, laying on the ground.
Yep. Or going someplace off the beaten path, or laying on the, you know, like laying on the ground to compose the image instead of standing there. I mean, it's just, all kinds of different ways. Yeah, the standard way of just pointing your camera and shooting is, you can get some okay images, but you can probably do a lot more by being a little bit more willing to kind of do things a little different. Yeah.
For sure.
Let's jump into those, because I posted a few. I'll go and start, I think, with the last one we shared, which was Joe's. Oh, this is just a boy at the birthday party, I think. Let's go and do that screen share. This is from a couple weeks ago. Let's see what we got. I think this is it. I think this was the last one. Yeah. This was shot at Cap. Yeah, this was a little boy that was at his grandson's birthday party, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It's a great. The kid's like, whoa.
It's very dramatic lighting for a birthday photo.
Yeah, he said it was like a window or something over there. Yeah, it was very yeah. It was an artistic birthday party. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, very, very cool shot. And then followed up by this, which I think maybe you posted last week. I can't remember if you posted this 2 weeks ago, but either way.
I think I posted some stuff without realizing you guys weren't doing one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So this was a 2013 458 Challenge Evolution. So is this street legal, or is it just full race prep? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full race car.
Okay.
We did drive it a little on the street for the photo shoot, which is interesting because, I mean, as you can tell from the front there, scrapes on virtually anything.
Yeah.
They managed to get it around a little bit. And like I said, that car, I actually think I have some videos somewhere from my phone, maybe from my camera, but and not that they would do it justice, but that car sounded so badass.
Yeah. So is it a 8-cylinder or 10 or what is it?
It's a V8.
V8 mid-engine.
It's like 560 or 570 horsepower, something like that.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a race car, so like straight pipes and
sure, it has no cats or anything. It's just
Yeah, and it probably weighs all of like 15.
And I've heard louder cars and bigger motors and stuff, but for whatever reason, it just sounded like I said, mean. It was angry.
Yeah. Well, it looks angry. I mean, it's a beautiful car.
The crazy thing is, it's never been driven, like never been raced, and now I don't know, and maybe it has since, but it's so strange to me that like I said, it's taken May 2015, and so it was. I think it's 2013
car.
The car was built, and then it was changed in Evolution, which is just basically they like make it crazier. I think they added the wing and did some more aerodynamic stuff and bumped the horsepower up and that kind of thing. So during all that time, all the have the standard car, have it modified, never drive. I don't understand it. But.
Wow. And what would, if I had enough zeros in my bank account, how money would I have to sacrifice to get this one?
I don't know. Let me find out. I think I can find out for you in about 2 seconds here.
I bet it's 10
if it's sold. Otherwise, it'll just be an estimate. But.
Okay.
Oh, no. No, it's like maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah.
The race cars are pretty cheap, actually.
Oh, okay. So
I mean, again, relative. I don't want to sound like I'm 242,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the street car is like 300. So.
Okay.
But again, that's simply with the race cars, they have such limited use that most people don't even want one, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be driven on the street. So unless you had your own personal racetrack or had access to a racetrack all the time and we're going to drive it, yeah.
Yeah, and the challenge, these challenge series actually, like Ferrari makes a bunch of these, and it's a whole series of races where you sign up and you compete and get points, and it's like a tournament, kind of thing, or like a season.
Okay.
So it's actually like a program you buy into, but I guess this guy bought the car and never did it. I don't know.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Strange,
but yeah. So it's a way for people to race Ferraris on a relative budget, I guess.
And mostly fairly amateurish people, so it gets a little hairy from everything I've seen.
Okay.
People banging into
not
each
professional
other, run off the track and
yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a wide range. There are some very, very good drivers, but there's also some people that have no idea what they're doing and cause problems.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, back in my days when I raced bicycles. That was the same way, and even in me, they had category Cat 5. They had citizens, and then they had Cat 5, which was like the lowest level of amateur racing, and I went all the way up to Cat 1, and I got up to Cat 4. So we'd always complain about the citizens of the Cat 5s because they would be the dangerous ones. They'd be the ones that couldn't turn or ride in the pack and, all that stuff. So
nice pileups.
Yeah, some little extra road rash, yeah. So that's fun. But yeah, that's a cool, very, very nice car. I like it. And now this one. Okay, this was the Copper State 1000, which was right before you went to Italy, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like early April, yeah.
This was April, and I went to Italy in May, so.
And this is a rally that I'm hoping, it's 2017, that I'm going to tag along. I started actually on Instagram, the people were like, I posted some photos of it, and they started reposting my stuff, and that's like, oh, I'd love to actually tag on. They're like, let's talk, and so I'm hoping this next year I'll actually be going along on it.
Oh, cool.
This is a 1,000-mile rally as well, and it kind of, the path is very different every year.
Okay.
But it's usually like,
Does it involve? Okay. All right.
It's all kind of like, a lot of times it goes through up through Utah, sometimes Colorado, New Mexico, that kind of stuff. I don't think it ever really goes to California, but they kind of go to the most picturesque places you can imagine, Grand Canyon,
Sedona,
Monument Valley, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And is it like how many days does it run over?
I think that one's 4 or 5 as well.
Okay, so yeah, kind of the same other type of thing. Couple 100 miles a day, staying in a nice place, lots of parties.
And they have, and actually, seen with the Mealy in this, they have like police escorts and stuff like that. So they're actually letting them drive a little crazy at times. People will still get in trouble if they go too crazy, but like 100 plus miles per hour isn't uncommon.
Okay, so they're allowed to drive within reason, well over the speed limit, as long as they just don't go 180. They can go 120 or whatever, and
Yeah, and occasionally bad stuff happens on this one too. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine, the last 2 or 3 years, has gone as media, and he was there, and a guy, I think they were down in Tucson area maybe, rolled a 300 SL Gullwing alloy car. Actually, like rolled it in the ditch, and there's a picture of it upside down. The people were fine, but it's like a $6 million car. And, and 1 year when I was there,
no, sorry.
1 year I was there at the start, because I just go to the start here. A Porsche Speedster, I think it was, which is like a few $100,000 car, pretty nice car, was at this start right here where this photo was taken, driving off, and a truck pulled out in front of him, T-boned it, wrecked the Porsche. The car had just finished I think it was like a 10-year restoration. And it was like all original body panels. And in the Copper State 1000, they didn't even do the Copper State 1 before it was crashed.
Man. Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not good. Of course, no damage to the truck at all.
Oh yeah, virtually none. Yeah, this tiny little aluminum body or something on that Porsche. But I actually basically just shared this one because it's interesting. Like, this is just if you look at the views and faves, I think it was featured in, I guess, this Explorer or something that Flickr does.
Okay. Oh yeah, 7,300. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just shared it because it's interesting to me. That I post a photo and which ones kind of get chosen, and because I had a Ferrari photo I posted before that the same kind of deal where I ended up doing over 100 faves and a whole bunch of comments and all that stuff.
So do you think? And you didn't do a lot of. You did Maserati. You had 4 keys. That was it.
Yeah, and I don't ever really. I mean, generally, I don't add them to a bunch of groups. I have some that I do, but so I don't know if it's certain Flickr people that see it and add it to something.
There has to
because the other one, it's just interesting that that shot, which I think it's a nice. I mean, I like it, but it's not. I think it's my best photo by any means.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about it is you got the little people watching, the kind of context,
Oh yeah, I mean, it does give some context. It's not just a car driving down an empty street. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what time of day? I mean, I'm sure somebody at Flickr, their little, their curators or whatever, probably saw it. So I'm wondering, what time of day do you remember what time of day you actually posted this to Flickr?
I don't.
Yeah.
It could have been 4 a.m. It could have been noon.
I'm just wondering because I know, like images I post to say like 500px.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to get more views, it seems like I need to post it like first thing in the workday for whatever reason. Like around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time seems to, because then you get people that are on the East Coast coming to work and doing stuff, and you still got people in Europe looking at it, and it's just interesting. You post it in the afternoon and you don't get anything, but if you post it
I've
first
noticed
thing in the
that
morning, you get a bunch more.
On Instagram. I've noticed that for sure. That depending on when you do it, you get definitely big variation on just how many people notice it.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, somebody must have seen this and just put it out there. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, great shot. There we go. So this has Joe's 1,500 views. That's not bad. But who is this? Amelia. Yes, we've seen a few other pictures of shots of Amelia here. But very nice. It's probably, I don't know if he was using, probably, I don't know, window, natural light here, I would think. Looks like. But very nice.
Trying to get to it, my. Oh.
So, yep, very nice shot, Joe. It was good. He's finally getting, now that he's back in his house, he's finally starting to get back into doing more photography. So
yeah, I haven't talked to him. I basically since I think we hopped on. I hopped on one time after we did that photo shoot. I think I've talked to him since then.
Yeah, he moved. Finally got into a house a couple months ago. I think he put the offer on it, and I think it was either still being built or something. But yeah, he finally moved in maybe in July or something like that. So
yeah, I was wondering what part of the valley he's in now.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, but it's he seems to be settled in and getting
That's
stuff
good.
set up. So yeah,
Sure, it's your relief to be out of the hotel after.
He was there for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
He was there for almost 2
Crazy.
years. Like, did they have a going away party for you when you left, Joe? So, I mean, it would have been more comfortable. He could have hung out in this 1935 Mercedes, and he would have been. That might have more room than the hotel room he was in.
Yeah.
So you did this. Was this when you were up in?
It's actually Wisconsin? Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, you did that stuff out in Oklahoma. Yeah, that's right.
I wish I went. It was like in I guess January. So I think this was for Amelia Island in Florida.
Okay.
So that's why it's January, right after the other big auctions or right before them or something, depending on the year. But yeah, I wish we could do more stuff like that. I love that, just to change of scenery,
Oh yeah.
And obviously it fit that car pretty well.
Yeah.
Which I love that car, but at the same time, it's a Nazi car.
Yeah.
You have to admit that at the same time, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it was just right around that area,
Yeah, it was probably built for the party.
It looks evil. I don't think that one has any swastikas on it. I know there were Mercedes that did, which is crazy. But that's like with this car. Like I love it. I love just the look of it. And it looks so.
Oh yeah.
Even if you get rid of the whole Nazi association, it looks evil.
Yeah, I mean the color. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
But I would have trouble owning one.
Yeah,
knowing that.
It has some historical significance for better or for worse, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I don't know if I'd want to own something like that. But.
The interesting thing about that car is it looks terrible with the top down.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen like a Volkswagen Beetle convertibles, the old ones.
Yeah.
How it sticks way up at the back.
Yep.
It does the same thing where it just looks
okay. So it's just like all big folded, massive stuff at the back. Yeah. Well, I think what makes this, I mean, it's a very sleek top, and then the whatever this is, the hinge or whatever, this makes. I mean, I think that ties in real nice with the chrome on the door frame and window frame and stuff.
Crazy thing is that's a big car, but that windscreen is probably 12 inches tall.
Wow,
it's such an interesting proportions and everything. And like I said, I mean that's
a huge. What is it? Is it a what's the engine in it? Is it a straight 8 or something like that?
I think it might even be just a straight 6.
Okay. Supercharged?
I have to look now. Yeah, I think they were supercharged. I feel like I should know this, especially since I just posted a bunch of info about it on my website.
Yeah, it might be a 6. Yeah.
It is a straight
Straight 8. Okay.
And I don't think they are supercharged. Bentleys, I know the Bentleys were like straight 8 supercharged, but I think Mercedes, when I think of it, I don't think they did that much.
Yeah. There's a guy here locally that has like a 19.
Oh, it is supercharged. God, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's supercharged.
It's a 19. I think it's a 37 or a 38 Mercedes. Probably right along the same lines as this. It's a little swoopier. It's a little more rounded. You know which one I'm talking about, Pat? I can't remember. But it was a straight 8. It's all silver. I mean, it's a straight aluminum body. You know, no additional paint or anything on it. And it's a supercharged. And I mean, he shows up at car shows here every once in a while. Older guy, he's got to be in his late 60s, early 70s, and he's had the car for 15 years, 20 years. Did the full resto and everything. And nice car, but yeah, it's right in that same era. Real long hood. It's got the supercharger with the pipes coming out, and
kind of old Duesenbergs and stuff.
Yeah, very nice. So but this was a great spot for it, with the black car against the brown and the gray.
Oh yeah, I was happy. No leaves.
Yeah.
Just again, kind of highlights the meanness of the car.
Definitely. So while Wes was wandering off here, he got this shot, which is cool. That's very nice. So is this back? You were way in the back part of across the bridge and over the hill and dale back there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
He's coming in for a landing, and it's pretty sharp too. You got a good.
Yeah, it was decent. I had a whole series of the landing, and this was the sharpest one. So went with that.
F8, 500th. Yeah. So yeah, that's a nice lens. That 70 to 300 is a pretty nice lens.
Yeah, I love that lens.
Yeah.
So it's like 480 equivalent, right?
Yeah, like 470, 480, something like that.
It's a pretty long reach.
Yeah, that's
I'd like to have more. I'd like to have that 150 to 500 or whatever it is.
Yeah, those guys that were out there, those two guys did you see those guys that are out there, Wes? That one guy had that looked like that 600 Sigma or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I think it's like a 150 to 600 Sigma.
Yeah. It looked like he was carrying a bazooka at the end of the camera. I mean,
yeah, it'd be workout to carry it.
But I mean, that's
nice to have the reach.
Yeah, for wildlife photography, that type of stuff. Yeah.
I thought about getting just the like the 2x multiplier thing for mine, just because like for the 135, then I'd actually have a decent reach on the full frame with the. And I guess I could throw it on the little SL1 too, but that obviously isn't as nice. But yeah, because the longest I have right now is 135.
Okay.
Which for what I normally do is plenty, but anytime I've gone to like the track or anything, it's not nearly enough. I mean,
yeah, you probably need 300 to 400, I would think, a couple hundred at least. To get,
I'd like to at least get the 70 to 200. I've used that lens, different variations on it a bunch. I really like it, but
yeah, they have one that's pretty affordable. That's like an F4. Is that what?
Yeah, they have F4 IS, 2.8, 2.8 IS.
Okay.
So you can pay anywhere from I think it's like 600 or 700, maybe not even that much, up to like 1,800, depending on which one you want.
Maybe get the 2.8 with IS. Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem is I think I would actually go for the 2.8 non-IS is what I would go with.
And then get a doubler, or they have like a 1.4, and then they got a
1.4.
Because in the 2.8 that'd be good too, because I know you lose some aperture with putting those on too.
Yeah, you would lose the stop, but it would still be at 4 or basically 4.
Yeah, which I mean, almost all motorsport stuff I have to kind of dial it up anyway because it's too bright.
Yeah.
For most stuff anyway, so you can't really shoot wide open.
Yeah.
Although I do have just a ND filter that I throw on sometimes, so I can shoot like video at f2 in broad daylight. But
get you like 1.5 stops or something like that, right, on the ND.
Well,
you have to get different ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Because my problem is my sensors are really dirty too. So then I get up to like f20 and it looks like shit with just dust everywhere. I have to Photoshop all those out, and it's such a pain. So.
Well, it's from changing lenses and being out and about doing stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing with shooting. I guess as work, is I've realized I've become a lot less fastidious with caring for my gear.
And you're doing stuff. I mean, if you're in a car at speed shooting, I mean, the chance of stuff getting into, is probably a lot more than standing still and shooting.
Plus, I'm in the damn desert, so
sand and grit and
there's dry dust and
it does all contribute to it. But yeah, this is you got nice lighting on the bird. What kind of bird is this?
It's a wood stork.
Wood stork. Okay.
So it looks like it's coming for the kill. Those little
yeah. That's quite kind of like it.
Yeah, it's he's got the legs out
Attack.
and the wings up. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, that's a nice park out there. I imagine it's pretty good. So while I was off wandering around with my Rolleicord, Pam turned around and took this shot with her the 14 to 140, I think is what that lens is on her EM5. And I cropped it. This is cropped by about a factor of a third, I would think, something like that.
Yeah,
because there was a little shelter down here and that type of thing. But
I like that whole like minimalist.
Yeah,
definitely a fan of.
Yeah,
and it, still to have the tree to add a little like context, how high up they are and stuff is nice.
Right.
Yeah,
and I like how the birds are all kind of in line with those darker clouds. That's kind of cool. It's like a band of interest, and then kind of simple.
Yeah, no, she looking at it, I'm like, well, where do you think we should crop it? She goes, well, I like those birds there, and get rid of that thing. And I'm like, okay. And I said, yeah, it came out pretty good, and the colors were great. I mean, it was a pretty sunset. So.
Yeah, I'm always I don't know, shooting out here with the no clouds gets boring.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I know it's an odd complaint sometimes, but I was like, you wouldn't believe how many times I've been. We were at the store and it was like pouring rain. My wife and I were like, oh man, it's raining and so dark outside. We got to go outside and do something. And then we went to the store and we ran into one of our friends and she's like, oh yeah, we just had to get out because of this beautiful weather. And it was like just drizzly, dark, and thundering.
Yeah, but instead of 100 plus and
it was like
and sun,
leading up to that was about 115. So
yeah, it's the alternative is, and most people will be like, oh, it's drizzling, I'm just staying inside.
Yeah, and that's again part of why I like to travel for photo stuff is. And actually, was almost going to go to Florida to shoot that whole Pinnacle portfolio collection because the guy who owned that lives in Florida. I'm not sure where.
Okay.
And originally they were going to fly me out there and just shoot them all out in Florida, and then they ended up shipping them all to LA.
Oh, okay.
Instead. But
yeah,
because I haven't been. I went to Florida once when I was like 13, maybe. That's the last time I've been out there. But
it's a pretty state. There's a lot of neat stuff there. You can get a little warm and sticky in the summer.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. I mean, for wildlife and all that stuff, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. It really is. So, yeah, pretty good. And speaking of wildlife, this was taken on the photo walk.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name. Do you know his name? I think he's.
I don't remember his name.
He's like, hey, stand there, and I'll look like I'm gonna try to seeing what's going on, and take that picture. That'd be a good one. So yeah, and we didn't see any alligators.
Just need a gator jumping out of the water.
Yeah, I like that.
He looks like a true photographer there with the fanny pack and whatnot.
Yes, yep, he's a fellow photo geek. But yeah, we didn't see any alligators on campus, but we did see a couple swimming around at the wetlands, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But
if you go down to Lake Alice on campus, that's where most of the alligators are.
Oh, okay. Is that a big, much larger body of water?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But, yeah, that was kind of just a fun shot along the route.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it.
And then this was on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday we went to the Florida Natural History Museum on campus, and they have a butterfly rainforest. And unfortunately, this was I only had my little 50 to 100 or 12 to 100 or 12 to 50 actually Olympus. So this is actually only 100 millimeters. But I was walking around and I saw this lizard pop up, and he grabbed this butterfly that was sitting there. So he was sitting there in the sunshine, and again, I cropped this by about 50% to make it bigger. I could hardly tell what was there. Reviewing the images. So this is cropped about 50%.
Nothing wrong with that.
Still a lot of stuff there. A lot of information there.
Yeah,
turned out good.
It came out pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what was it, 400 or something like that. So pretty low. But yeah, it was nice, bright, and he just seemed very proud that he got himself a butterfly. And I was like, should we tell him there's a lizard in here? I'm like, no, I think they're supposed to be in here. That's all part of the all part of the experience, I guess. But yeah, that's a neat exhibit. You got some shots which you posted a few of here, Wes. So cool. And I guess this was walking through a little wooded section on campus there, and just kind of a backlit palm leaf frond or whatever you call it. But I liked it just because there was this little bit of Spanish moss kind of dangling down in a couple spots. So kind of neat.
Really nice.
Yeah, with the sun coming through and getting the shadows of the going one way and the shadows going the other way.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so
nice contrast there.
Yep. And here is Joe's. Is this? Yeah, Amelia again. I think he did this shoot. Was this 2 weeks ago? I think it was. I think he did this shoot just 2 weeks ago. He just finished up a shoot right before we did the show a couple weeks ago. So Joe's getting back into his glamour shots. So we need to get you together again, Pat. Now that he's settled, you get the hot chicks with a hot car, and then you got it.
Yeah.
So you need her like on the hood of that 35 Mercedes. That would, be interesting juxtaposition there. But yeah,
as long as it doesn't look like she's being run over by it.
Yeah,
same era as the Duesenbergs of the giant cars with big bumpers to run over poor people kind of thing.
Yeah, just out of my way, peons. So, no, nice shot. And then got Simi here. He got out a few weeks. No, I guess he took about 2 or 3 weeks ago along the coast for some photography. This is maybe the third shot that he posted of this same basic scene, although taken from different angles and with a little different lighting. So this is that lighthouse on there, which is just absolutely beautiful. Great.
Very dreamy.
Yes. Yeah. With that sun coming, I guess sunset. Yeah. I think this was sunset he was saying. And get the lighthouse is on. Light coming out there, the reflection of the sun.
Kind of bloomy highlights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like soft and sharp at the same time kind of thing.
Yeah. And he's using his 750. So, which he is very careful not to drop into the water any farther.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's a real bummer.
Yeah. He got it. I guess he had it insured, but yeah, it still costs a little bit to. At least he did have it insured. And it cost him, like he said, $1,000 instead of $3,000 or whatever it ended up being. So, and we had that on the photo walk. Lady had an L. What was it? The 24-70. Is that the lens she had on it?
I think so.
And she had it on a tripod, and she hit it, knocked it over, and right down on the lens. It didn't look like the front element was broken. She had a filter on it, so it was dented.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just the filter. Maybe the threads got messed up a little bit on the front.
Bent threads and a filter. But she just took that lens off, put another one on, and the camera still works. So
yeah, it's that's one reason actually that I always have a lens hood on mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's for that reason that if it tips forward and smacks something, it might crack that, but that'll take like the brunt of it, and you won't be fine.
Yeah.
I actually had a photo shoot where I was doing something and I got distracted. I went to shake someone's hand because they finally got there, and I had my camera on a tripod and bumped it. Fell straight on his face. I think I broke the. I've done it a couple times. Shattered a lens hood, and then and actually the camera wouldn't turn on, and I hadn't done the photo shoot yet, but I pulled out my little battery pack from the battery grip, put it back in, and it came on. So I was lucky. But
there it is.
I haven't had anything too tragic happen.
Yeah.
But
there has been some good ones here posted. That's the lady that, and this is with her new different lens on. But this is, did she post the lens? I think she did. There's been some good ones posted here. Yeah, this is.
I think somebody posted it.
Yeah, down here, I think. The lens that took the digger. Maybe. Which was kind of bad. Yeah, we were just kind of sitting around talking and whoops, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Crunch.
Yeah.
And I think it was just the filter.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. It just literally just, I guess on the side and just hit the lens first. Yeah, but yeah, that wasn't.
For some reason, my 135 is really loose in the middle. Like it really wiggles, and I think it's messing up the autofocus. I haven't dropped it or anything, but I guess I have to send it in for service. I never dropped that one. My 35, that's one where recently I was in California and it fell and broke a lens hood.
Okay.
I actually stopped using a camera strap of any kind at least a year ago.
Okay.
Because it just annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
And with a battery grip, it's pretty like well balanced in my hand to where I can just kind of hang it. Not a problem, but I've realized that at the same time it's kind of a little troublesome. I could cause some issues for myself. And so I'm always nervous. But.
Yeah, that's how most of the time it happens. I think you get the.
Even when I was in Italy, standing outside that, hanging outside the sunroof and all that, I didn't have any kind of strap on. I was like, that's probably not a good idea. But
life on the edge, huh?
My biggest fear is that actually the camera will fly out of my hand and smash a car or something, or I'll drop it on a windshield or something.
Yeah. You just broke the windshield on my $20 million Ferrari. Yeah. So this was, I had a roll of film and a roller cord, and this was out at the wetlands in the afternoon, and just kind of the pier kind of went and broke off into two areas. So there was some neat shadows and stuff. Yeah. So
I was gonna say that with the shadows.
Yeah, and I don't know what this was at. Maybe 5.6, maybe. Yeah, and I just kind of focused right here. And
what film were you using?
Acros 120.
Okay.
Kind of the standard black and white film, 100-speed film for me. Get it relatively. Yeah, it's like $4 a roll, $4.50 a roll, and I can get it hacks of 5 or something from Adorama. So it's.
I was just gonna ask where you normally got it.
Yeah, and just developed an HC 110. It's just like
actually
6.5 minutes.
There's a roll of it right there.
Oh, okay. Yep. It's a good film. I mean, it's
one of these days I'll get that.
Yeah, you need to use that.
Yashica, whatever I got there going.
You got that
124.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's absurd is like within about 10 feet of me, I have probably 20 film cameras. Not all of them work, but most of them do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't have much. I don't have a whole lot of film, but I have some nice like black and white film and stuff that I suddenly can't even think of the brand.
Yeah. No,
it's like one of the major ones. That's
it's easy to develop.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I don't have the chemicals, but I have everything else to develop film. The bags and the canisters and all that kind of stuff.
That's what's fun about it. I'd almost rather, if I'm going to shoot film, I'd rather just do black and white because I'm always going to have a digital camera with me. So the scenes that are, to me, are good for black and white are oftentimes different from what you would shoot with the digital anyway.
Yeah, well, and that's just it for me too. Because if I'm shooting film, it's going to be black and white because, like you said, I want it to be as different as possible.
Yeah.
Because if I'm trying to just get like an accurate, nice color photo, I can do that. But if I want something, and that's why I kind of like the old stuff that's a little rough, a little beat up, these old cameras, because I kind of like that it's obvious that it's film and it's obvious it's not perfect. And
yeah, like on these, I got out some of the stuff, but there's a couple little spots here and there, and
and I think that I think that kind of stuff always kind of adds to it.
Yeah, and on this one, you can see this a little bit of, that's probably developer, just
I see, yeah,
an error on the developing and that type of stuff.
And again, that's the funny thing is, I know everyone's talked about this before on here, but there's filters and layers and stuff people add to their nice full frame digital pictures to try to mimic that.
Yeah, to get this.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
So to me, it's like, that's part of the flavor of it. Just
and there was a few spots that I got rid of, but there's some dust and stuff on it. And,
yeah, I mean, I guess it depends a little bit where it is. If it's distracting, that's one thing. But
yeah, I mean, there was a few here, a couple real obvious right in the dark sections, but other than that, I used to try to go through and get rid of everything. I was like, why, get rid of the stuff that's really distracting and just leave some other stuff there, because you could spend literally hours, and it's impossible to get rid of all the dust. You'll never do it. So won't even fight that battle. And then this was just walking back down that same boardwalk and just shooting out towards the horizon. So this tree here is the one that was in the sunset shot. So
it's interesting. It's like half a tree.
Yeah, it's like blown
Strange.
over inside. Yeah. But this was just all the water lilies and stuff there. So
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
nice.
Kind of same minimalist kind of thing.
Yeah, minimalist, but sort of like, I like the composition, how it's everything sort of centered, and
yeah,
you got a couple little things off to the side. Just
that's the whole thing with the rule of thirds and all that. And I actually have written a couple articles. Actually, for that magazine, I wrote an article with photo tips. That kind of thing is that certain rules are good, but sometimes it's nice to break them too. That's what makes it good.
Yeah, and it all depends. Something like this, I just kind of said that looks good in the middle, but then you look at and I didn't really notice this to a certain extent, but when I scanned it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool there, and then this little thing over here sets it off. So yeah, it's
turned out good.
And it's a different thing, black and white versus color. So here Wes has got a few that posted, and he had his 300 on there, so it was good.
I had to actually go back out and change lenses.
Yeah. They wouldn't let you change lenses in there because they were afraid you were going to trap a butterfly in your camera bag. Yeah.
Oh.
And it was all negative pressure. So when you opened up the door, all the wind was blowing in, so no butterflies could escape.
Interesting. Oh yeah,
But this is. So did you actually know these butterflies, or did you look them up?
No, I looked them up. They had a guide on their website, and it's still some of them I've shot that I can't figure out what they are.
Okay. Yeah.
Even using their guide.
Yeah. Some of them are so similar. It seemed like. Yeah. But yeah, this is tough. This is a cool one. It was. These ones, there were some butterflies that were really cool, but you could only see them flying around with the blue or whatever that one was. But every time they sat, they folded. They never had their wings open, so they just were really kind of boring butterflies sitting. But when they were flying, they had this brilliant blue on the inside of their wings.
Yeah, the underside of their wings was just brown, ugly.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. You got nice and sharp. And this was only this must have been right in front of you here, right? Yeah.
This one pretty close.
There. That's cool. And then this was out at the. This was at the wetlands too, but you did this.
Tamarons?
Yeah, it's a Tamaron.
Okay. Is that 2.8?
Yeah, the 2.8 crop center lens.
Okay. Yeah, I used to have that. I think I had an old version for many years. It was like my go-to lens for the longest time when I had my 60D.
It's a very nice one. It's nice and sharp. And,
Oh yeah, for the value. I mean, everything I saw was like compared to the Canon 17 to 40, it was just as good, if not better, in some ways. So much cheaper. I always had to argue with, convince people that it was a great lens because they were like, Tamron versus blah, blah, blah. But the only thing I didn't like about it was how loud the autofocus was. I don't know if yours is any better, but.
No, it's pretty loud.
And it kind of hunts a little bit in low light and that kind of stuff. At least mine did. Like I said, I had an old version. I think we've updated it a couple of times since I had it, but I used to tell people all the time to get that lens.
That's good.
Yeah, for the price, it's great.
Yeah.
That's like the 17 to 18 now for the Canon, the crop sensor one. It's an amazing lens. I definitely suggest it to anyone that wants a wide angle one.
Okay, so this is your Fuji. Yeah, okay.
I threw one up from the Fuji with the Nikon pancake lens on it.
Yep. That's a nice. Yeah, that was a pretty scene there. The trees kind of got some gold in it, and the sky was dead blue. Yeah. It was very blue sky with nothing in it, which actually worked good for this.
Yeah. I like the colors there.
Yep. The red, the brick against the blue with the green in there. So yeah. Very nice. Yeah, that lots of people were sitting that lady, whatever her name was, one with the broker lens, was sitting there for a while waiting to, and I didn't see it on the group page, but she was waiting there for people to kind of clear out so she could get a shot of this. Cool. Okay, and then this is Wes's interpretation of that similar area. It's probably in that same area, wasn't it?
Yeah,
walking through that little boardwalk between the buildings.
Might be the same Franz, who knows?
Yep, but it's much at 300 millimeters, so full on, full zoom on that. But yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, the sunlight coming through and seeing the veins in the front. So yeah, it's probably the same plant. Yeah, two different interpretations. And everybody took pictures of that in there because it was neat because they were backlit.
Yeah,
and
the light was hitting just right.
Everybody had a little bit different take on it. And then this is, we've seen, I think you posted a picture of this a few weeks ago when you were doing the walk, I think, or you've done a couple shots of this same period.
No, this was from the photo walk. This is
this was from the photo walk, but didn't you post something from the same area maybe last year? I think you did. Yeah, that's kind of where
I've posted several different interpretations of the main sort of viewing platform there.
Yeah, but yeah, this is very nice, right as the sun was setting. There, so.
You see that? That has the image stabilization on. Yours does. Yeah, mine didn't. So must be an old version that I had.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say about it, it's definitely a great photo, but I'm like hypersensitive to level horizons. And it's off by like just the tiniest bit.
Yeah.
And for some reason, my brain just sees that and drives me crazy.
I think I fought with that one between the getting the poles.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I totally know what you mean because I've had that problem too. Where
is the pole level or is it tilted?
Right.
Level? And you're like, well,
I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes I'll kind of tweak it like left to right and distort stuff to try to make it, even if it's not in reality level like that. But again, I'm like OCD about that almost for some reason. But it drives me crazy. There'll be times where I'll shoot a car and the surface it's on won't be level, but then there'll be straight lines in the background. Even that Ferrari I think I posted earlier is that way. And I fight with that so much to what do I make level?
Yep. What to what extent do you alter the image to try to get everything level or not? And
yeah, it's tough.
And you were like, okay, we're gonna make this post vertical, and then
it's a photo where it makes me want to be there.
Yep, and it was a very nice evening, nice night. And here we go at the museum. There's Mark and Pam looking interested in the dinosaur.
Were you posing for that, or is that?
No, I had no idea.
Just candid.
Yeah.
we were just reading whatever. It was a nice museum. They had some good exhibits.
That's cool.
Yeah, kind of nice black and white shot on that. Cool.
Yeah, I had to convert that one. The lights were just horrible.
Oh,
all different colors.
Yeah,
it works in black and white though. So.
Yep. And then this is okay. So this was taken just last month.
That's cool.
Yeah. Lincoln Nevada Boat Tail Speedster, 1932. Wow.
It's interesting because it's a 1932 engine and chassis, like all the mechanicals in 1932, but it's a more recent body, not super recent.
Huh.
But it didn't actually come from the factory that way. It's a custom.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
The interesting thing about it, you can't really tell from that photo, unfortunately, maybe I should pick a different one, is like the top half is actually all like brushed aluminum from the windscreen back to the boat tail.
Okay.
And it's a giant car. It doesn't look that big in that photo, but it's huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like the hood is 6 feet long all by itself.
Yeah. It's probably at least that long, yeah.
And then the boat tail is probably another 2 or 3 feet back there too, because you just see the wheel skirts go way back. Yeah.
And that car's interesting because it, like I said in the little description there, it tripled the low estimate.
Wow. So they're figuring it was going to sell for $200 and it sold for $600. Huh?
Yeah, and the guy was nice. He was like, "Oh yeah, they're telling me. I thought someone told me $300, but I don't think it's actually worth that much." And blah blah blah. And he was kind of like down about it in a way. So then when I saw that it did so well, I was pretty happy for him because he definitely had money, but he wasn't like these crazy guys that have just. The difference is significant to him for sure. Like it was a very happy day for him.
Yeah. Now, did he buy it and restore it himself and do all that?
No, I think he's had it for a long time. He said, and he said he's taken on quite a few different events and stuff like that. But I think it's so impractical.
Yeah.
For any kind of real use, because like I said, it's kind of deceiving how huge it is.
Yeah.
And this was actually just like across the street from his house, so it's not the best location in the world, but
Okay.
it ended up all right.
Well, yeah, it ended up good. He's probably at least double what he maybe realistically thought. He was probably trying to probably underplaying it a little bit, like you said, but he was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he was absolutely thrilled.
He has a little more in his bank account than he thought. He's pleasantly surprised. Which is, I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, if you're going to sell the car, you want to get as much for it as you can. And
yeah, I think that's the whole thing with auctions. You know, you could have listed it for 300 or whatever and got that easy, but you never know. It's kind of that risk, kind of a gamble.
Reserve auctions?
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably had like I would guess like $180,000 reserve or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually it's just below the low estimate is what the reserves will be.
Okay. And a low estimate, how do they come up with it's just based on market value or?
Yeah, I mean, something like this, it's really hard to say because it's the only one that exists. And I think that's why I tripled it. They just really, guessed wrong.
Yep.
Because, normally they kind of look at past sales, kind of what people are interested, how many people have been asking for those cars, that kind of stuff. Because usually they're dead on with their estimates.
Yeah.
Another one that they really were wrong on was Janis Joplin's Porsche that had this little custom paint job. I think that went for like 5 or 6 times the estimate.
Bought by a Janis Joplin fan.
Yeah, it was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame until they sold it, and I think they were just shocked by kind of what it did.
How much? Yeah, that's a good surprise. I mean, I'm sure there's people that put a lot of money or have bought the car previous and want to sell it for more than they paid for it, and are really disappointed because it either just barely meets reserve or doesn't, and they had all this time and expense in doing it. So
yeah, this is one where I did upload it in the full resolution.
Yeah,
126 megapixels. So
wow. Yeah, it's a
pretty noisy.
I mean, it's probably how's it sound? Is it like a V8 or?
It's a V12.
V12. Ooh. Yeah, sounds pretty good, I would think.
Yeah, I mean it's fairly quiet because they were like luxury cars.
Yeah.
So they're kind of all about just like power, but being mellow and smooth and quiet and all that stuff. But it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. That'd be a fun car to drive around. I imagine it probably is pretty impractical. Is it like 25 feet long? I mean, it's probably.
I don't think it's quite that long, but it's definitely a big car, and I mean it looked beautiful at night. I can't imagine. I mean it definitely would get a lot of attention everywhere it goes, And he was kind of like, oh, I don't really want to sell it. I probably shouldn't. But hopefully that price made him happy.
Yeah, made him feel a little bit better about selling it.
You can buy something else now, huh? He's probably one of those guys who'll probably take the money and buy something else and have it.
But I mean,
did he drive it? Did he drive the car much?
Yeah. He actually he took it on that Copper State 1000 rally a few years ago.
Okay.
And some other things. So yeah, he did quite a bit with it. But it's just it's also like the top was a giant pain in the ass to put on, and you have to open up both the doors to open up the trunk and weird stuff like that, because it's not being a custom car. It's not practical in the least. Like we had to unscrew the mirrors to put the top on and weird stuff like that.
Yeah. So just more for show than go to a certain extent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those. It has a top just in case, but realistically, it should never be on the car, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's a beautiful car. It'd be fun to have. I mean, I guess if you had the funds and the ability to store it and that kind of thing, always be fun. But yeah, when I go to the car shows, I always ask people, do you actually drive this or does this sit in the garage? And
yeah,
I'm happily finding that more people, at least locally, the ones I'm going to, they're not multi-million-dollar cars, but people that have nice, muscle cars or not classic, maybe not classic Ferraris, but stuff made in the last 10 or 15 years, that type of stuff. People are driving them. They're not just keeping them in the garage. So.
Yeah, there was like that guy with that XKSS that I mentioned. I think I talked about him before, but he's like the ideal for me as far as that stuff goes because that's probably a $30 million car. Yeah. And he drove it there. And when I did that photo shoot, I asked him, like, do you mind if we back on this dirt road so that, kind of looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere? And he's like, yeah, sure, of course, it's just a car. I'm like, Yeah, I guess so.
It's a $30 million, but I mean, I guess in his mind, yeah, it's just.
And yeah, I mean, that's definitely by far the most valuable car he has. But he has some nice stuff, and he drives all of it. And I did a photo shoot in the studio with one of his cars, and afterwards I was like, "Do you want me to help you get it out of here?" And did you bring a trailer to put it on? And he's like, "Oh, I don't use trailers." I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the cars were built to be driven. I mean,
yeah. And I mean, he gave me a ride in the XKSS and drove it hard the whole time we were riding it and stuff. And
yeah,
that's
fun. Yeah, that's
good guy.
If I had the funds and the time to do cars like that, I think my tendency would be to drive them, not just to keep them in the garage. Because why do it if you can't use it?
Yeah. I understand certain cars are almost like pieces of art and whatever, but there are pieces of art you can drive, so why not?
Yeah, why not use them for what they're intended for? So and it's not like you're going to take it out in a snowstorm, but if it's a nice day and whatever, and you want to drive it, go out.
And that's why that Mealy is another example of what's so cool is people are driving multi-million-dollar cars in pouring rain, hard, like I said, crashing them into stuff. And obviously, it's an utter, amazing luxury to be able to do that. And I definitely get that too. That you have to be incredibly rich to be able to do that. It's not like anyone could do that. And I could just choose not to. But
but no, I mean it is not. I mean, if it's neat to see people that have the means to be able to do that, to appreciate the cars and then actually use them as they were as they were built to be used, basically. So. And I mean, none of us will ever be able to do that, but people that have the means to do it and do it, 2 thumbs up for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, good show, guys. Anybody gonna watch the Battle Royale tonight, 9 o'clock? We got.
Yeah, probably will. The last one was
maybe a little bit.
Well, I just want to know what if sales of Tic Tacs are going to go up or down.
You see that Tic Tac actually commented on Twitter about it.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They said we do not endorse Donald Trump.
Basically, yes. Okay. Or like we don't, represent the comments, don't represent Tic Tac or something like that.
Not used in the way represented by the nominee.
So insane that it's the second time that a candy company had to comment on a presidential, because earlier Skittles had to.
Skittles was a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah. Skittles comment.
Yeah.
It's funny and sad all at the same time. That's all I'm gonna say. So what's that Chinese proverb? May you live in interesting times. I think we're seeing some of that now. So yeah, I'm gonna, but from a photography standpoint, we can always tie back to photography. That's always a good reason not to throw away any images, because you never know when they might be worth something. And that was stuff that was on an editing room floor 11 years ago, and they recovered it and put it out there. So you never know. An image that you take might come back to be something. So, never get rid of the images. You never know when it might come in, might be useful. So, all right, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, good show. Appreciate showing up, Pat. Dropped off. Wes, thanks again for a great weekend. It was a lot of fun. We need to do that again. If you guys want to come up to Atlanta, feel free. There's
keep us. If you see anything coming up that you think would be interesting for us or whatever, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, we'll do. And enjoy your week. And we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Alrighty.
All right. Take care. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Night.